Hey, it's Pascal from Orangepixel, and right now as I'm recording this, it's Tuesday, almost 3 p.m. and my day has been, it hasn't been very productive, or at least it doesn't feel like I've been very productive, even though I did a bunch of things, but this week is just starting very messy. Yesterday I didn't work at all because the wife and me had a little stay at a hotel, which means we got back on Monday and there wasn't really much time to do any work. Today is the start of the week. I had to do some administrative type stuff, replying to emails, things like that. And I spent most of the day, a decent amount of hours, creating a publisher pitch deck, whatever it's called, for Regulator City. Pretty much a document talking about what this game is, what it's gonna be, and what I need to have it become that thing I want it to be. All that stuff with some GIFs and some videos, a bunch of information there. There are a couple of publishers I want to work with and I think could add something to this game and help me market it and PR and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be waiting for them to reply if they either have interest or not. It's been a draining thing to do. And it also means I haven't been working on the game, and I had a bunch of ideas I wanted to work on and I just can't get started on all of that. That's also why I'm recording the video now on Tuesday. Normally I do this on Friday and I do a full video, but I have no idea how this week is gonna go. So before it's Friday and I have nothing to talk about, I figured let's just record bits and pieces here and there on every day that we're working or doing something. So hopefully by the time Friday ends, I'll have this whole video for you to watch. I guess that worked because you're watching it now, so well done, future me. But right now, I have no idea what the rest of the video is going to be about. I do know that Heroes of Loot 2 is now available on Switch. It went live yesterday, the pre-order was live, but now the game is actually released and playable. So go to the eShop, download Heroes of Loot 2, and thanks for everybody who buys a copy. Also on behalf of Serious Lion, who does all the porting to Switch and Xbox and PlayStation. Thanks from the both of us. Go check it out. The game is a lot of fun and you can play with a friend as well. So go check that out and then check out the intro. And after the intro, it will probably be another day in my week. But right now I have no idea which day it's gonna be. Hopefully Wednesday, because if it's not Wednesday after this intro, that means Wednesday was even more of a wasted day than today was. So let's hope that it's gonna be Wednesday after the intro. All right, let it be Wednesday. Quick update, we did make it. It's Wednesday now after the intro. I've already been working. This is a little pre-lunch update. I'm about to go out for lunch. Not out for lunch, but I'll do lunch and then I'll go out to the store where my wife works, and it's her store, so obviously she works there. Anyway, I actually been doing some stuff. If you've watched last week's video, I was talking about doing levels and trying to create interesting level designs for the missions and all those things. Actually, that video hasn't gone live. It goes live tomorrow for me, but it was live last week for you. Okay, so I still can't create these levels because I just need to fix a couple of things with the enemies. Right now I'm trying to fix how they interact with you, how they approach you. If there's a sound or noise, they should be going to that sound or that noise. If you're near, they should be going towards you and start shooting at you. But I don't want them to be shooting too much or from illogical places or being too far away from you and then already start shooting. It just doesn't make sense. So right now I'm trying to fix and tweak and mold all that stuff into something that works, which is pretty hard. It is a balance between a lot of things, and obviously these enemies are doing a lot of calculation and things based on their surroundings, and I just need to make sure it all streamlines and that in most cases, or preferably all cases, work out correctly. So that's what I'm tinkering with now, and hopefully once I have all that stuff up and running. Meanwhile, I'm doing some level design here and there, but I can't just dive into level designs if I'm still changing the rules of the game. So I need to make sure those rules are up and running, and then we can actually design levels. So that's what I'm doing today, or at least for now. I wanted to work on the doors. we have locked doors and I want to start interacting with those type of doors, but I'm not getting around to it. Or maybe in the afternoon, not sure yet. The idea is that we have locked doors. The problem is, and I've explained this in many videos, once you start working on something, one thing leads to the next. If we have locked doors, we're gonna need something to open them. That means an item. That means the player needs to be able to hold an item. Do I want to add a whole inventory to handle a bunch of items? Or do we just give you 1 or 2 items? Or maybe you have them and they will automatically be used when you can use them. I have to figure out what the best system is gonna be for this type of game. I prefer to have no inventory or backpack. Just you'll have these items, you grab them, you pick them up somewhere, and then you approach a locked door and it will automatically be usable or something like that. A system like that would have my preferences in this game for this particular game, but I haven't figured that out yet. So the doors are there, the code for that door is pretty simple, but everything else that needs to operate with it, and that's gonna be some designing and some work. So we're not there yet, but we are about to go and get some lunch. All right, I've been playing around with the enemies and the AI. I'm using the headquarter pretty much to test stuff out. So let me just quickly spawn a enemy, and he will now have a lot more smarts and wisdom. Although they still do weird and stupid thing like running into a corner like this. But he should be more responsive to stuff. Let me show you the apartment level. So now breaching a door will trigger alert in the whole room, and depending on the distance between where the original sound started, in this case the door, and where the enemy is, they will do different type of things. So this one should be alert, high alert mode, probably shooting at me. This might run closer and this guy will be alerted, but probably not gonna be moving in. And there we go, he's shooting, he's moving towards the sound, and he is noticed that there's something happening for a bit. He does some panicky movement, but he is on high alert. So we are making progress with the AI and decision making for the enemies. It's just a very long process. So I am making progress on these enemy thingies. We have all the AI stuff up and running. There's pathfinding, there is knowing where danger is, there is nodes for safety and movement towards those things. It's now pretty much decision making. When should an enemy attack you? When should he be running away? Usually that's going to be when he's low on energy. Things like that, and they have to make sense so that a player can actually build their tactics around it. So I want to make sure that if you're seeing and looking at the enemy and are very close to him, you should know that he will be attacking you. That should be a given, unless he's low on health. If he's running away at that point, you know you've got the upper hand, he's weak. So it's pretty much spawning one enemy in an empty level, and then we track and trace all his code decisions and what is he going to be doing, and when we shoot at him, when he's getting near, when there's an event, what are the steps. And I should probably draw this out on a flowchart for myself, but I haven't, and I don't like to waste paper on it, so I'm just gonna tinker with it some more. There's a lot of improvements already since this morning or since yesterday, so I'm confident that by the end of the week it's even more playable than it was last week. At least that's the whole idea. And code-wise, I'm pretty much using a state machine. I had questions from people asking me if I use an entity component system or something else, but it's very, I'm very old school in those type of things. It's very simple, if this then that, or if or switch statements, things like that. In the end, it all runs pretty much the same as doing an entity component system, just as long as you know what you're doing. And every now and then I think I know what I'm doing. So a very simple state machine, and we're just swapping between different states and trying to trigger the right state at the right time based on what the player is doing around us. Also took a little bit of time to add a little debug mode into the settings. I keep forgetting some of the commands, so now I can quickly just turn things on for debugging. And if you then go back into the game, you'll see everything is now turned on. Don't think this will be in the final version, or it will be hidden somewhere. But for now, it's an interesting way to quickly check certain things. So little debug menu, And I'm wrapping up my Wednesday. It's now 4:30. I'm gonna do some fit on the Switch, Ring Fit. Not to gain muscles or lose weight, but literally to stay fit, because certain age, it just doesn't come natural anymore. You have to try and stay fit yourself. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I like having these breaks in a day, so at lunchtime I'll do a walk outside. Doesn't matter if it's raining or storming or whatever. I always walk outside to the store, my wife's store, which is a nice break, and it allows me to clear my head a little bit. And at the end of the afternoon, I do fitness or Ring Fit. It doesn't take a long time. It's like 15 minutes and that's it. But it's a nice workout, and so far it works, and at least I feel very healthy and very fit. So I think it works. Anyway, that's it for the Wednesday. I'll see you on Thursday. And luckily for you, as these videos work, that's in about 3, 2, 1. And it is Thursday now. I decided to start today working on the interface a little bit, just to give myself a break from all the AI code and all that stuff, which is a lot more thinking, and this is a lot more designing. So let me just show you a little bit what I've been up to. This is not gonna be the final stuff. I'm probably gonna change it every now and then, but now I had a little idea I wanted to try, and I'm just gonna have it in the game, and while I play test in coming weeks and months, I'll either like this and keep it, or I'll just delete it completely, because at some point it might not look as good as I thought it would. This is still the title screen, not changing much for now. I might change it eventually, but I'm first focusing on this, all the options and all those things. Going for a little bit of a comic book style look, I guess, with those bars and everything and split up. Adding some green arrows here and there to highlight stuff. This was originally in Residual, this whole interface, so I'm now modifying things here and there and changing the look a little bit so that it more fits the regulated city style. Then that is pretty much a Residual version. I'm thinking about, if I'm keeping this background stuff, to maybe change the background depending on where you are in the settings. Not sure yet. I'm not gonna waste time on that for now, because first I want to make sure that this is the style we're keeping. Just gonna change probably this bar, because this blackness, first of all, I'm not sure what I want here. I want something there, but I'm not sure. And for now it's just a straight line, while all the other lines are a little bit crooked, so this should probably change. I've been just designing this as a background art in GIMP, so everything is pretty static except for that general dude left and the bottom left. We'll have to see if this, for now it's an interesting style, but it's not finished, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it, but that's something else to work on, and it just changes my work up a little bit from having to do all the AI code. And of course this is all gonna be part of that interface, so it all has to fit and look good. Interesting stuff. We'll keep tinkering on it in the coming months. So before I grab my lunch, I'm gonna upload all the footage I recorded this week onto the computer, just to see where I am at with this video, and if there's enough for this video. Apparently, if you're watching this, there is enough. If there's not enough, I pretty much dump everything I just recorded, and you're not gonna hear this, but you are hearing it, so I'm not dumping it. But if I had to dump it, then I would just have to come up with a good topic and record it on Friday. There are some things I've been doing this week that might fit that video, but to be honest, I knew this week was gonna be lots of tiny things left and right, so I'm hoping I have enough footage for this video. Apparently I do. This is frustrating and confusing. I'm just gonna upload it to the computer, do a quick edit, get some lunch, and then we'll see what the rest of the day brings. Did a rough pass. I'm now at 16 minutes of this video. I still have to crunch down a bit. There's a lot of stuff I can cut and remove. I will do that tomorrow. For now, I know I have a video that leaves me with all my focus for the game. I don't have to think about what I'm gonna do for the video. So I'm just gonna record the rest of the things here and there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do this afternoon. I might actually leave the office for a bit. So I'm just gonna tinker some more with the interface, tweak some more on the AI, and see if there's anything fun to be done. Anyway, closing DaVinci now, and let's get back into game development. So Friday is starting a little bit different. I just pushed an update for Heroes of Loot 2 on Steam, pretty much because some of the feedback on the Switch version. The request is pretty easy. You get some inventory slots for every character in the game, but you can't drop inventory items, and at some point you can collect certain items that you need for a quest, but that quest might not happen, or you might bypass it using another dungeon exit, and you'll have that item in your inventory all the time. It's not a huge problem because in all those years that the game has been live on other platforms, nobody noticed it or ran into that issue, but now I had a couple of people running into it on the Switch. I quickly added a drop option to the inventory screen. That took me a little bit of work. Now I'm pushing that all online so that Serious Lion can grab those changes, put them in the Switch version, and we'll upload a new build for Switch. Grab it on the Switch and the eShop, and an update is coming, making the game even better. So that was my morning. I haven't been doing the things I wanted to do. That's just how it sometimes happens. There's a lot of games out there that I need to update and sometimes need to tweak and juggle with, and this was one of those things. So update is done. I also posted it on Steam, a little update message, posted on Discord for the people asking for it. Now it's almost lunchtime. I'm gonna try to do some stuff on Regulated City, because I don't have to do this video. That saves me a lot of time. Normally I'll be recording this whole video. Now I did most of that during the week. So we're gonna do some work today, and I'll edit this video on Saturday or something. Yeah, time to do some actual work on the new game, Regulated City. And I almost forgot to record the rest of this video. It's a couple hours later since the last clip you just saw. Not sure how I'm gonna paste that onto this, but it happened. I've been really digging into the game, been working on the interface, doing a lot of things. Let me just show you all the changes and tweaks I've been doing and talk a little bit about it. First thing is this whole title screen. I've cut up the art we had to make it more consistent with everything else. Let me dive into the options menu and show all the transitions we now have. So this slides in, it fades in and out, and there's a bunch of things it now really feels like a complete game, and there's so much stuff going on here. This is all the options menu, but I've pulled this interface into everything. So the character select screen now also has that same look and feel to it. There will be more information here about the character you can pick. That's gonna be added. We will quickly dive into a level. And the pause screen has now the same look. It also zooms in the actual gameplay screen and makes it that cartoony type of, I'm not sure what I'm going for, but this look is now pretty much everywhere in the game. I've also been working on the status bar stuff, and in the pause screen it moves over here, adding which are the players and which are computer controlled characters. My idea is that we will have like hot plugging. You can connect another gamepad and then just dive into the game and help out a friend or buddy. It shouldn't be difficult to do, but I'm not certain yet I can actually do that. But it would be very cool. You just start a solo campaign, a single player mission, somebody drops in and you'll just hand them a gamepad and they'll join your game, taking over one of these characters. I think it's gonna be interesting. Also showing you the projectile weapons like the grenade, how many you have, and the current mission, where we are, and versus. Not sure about this stuff yet, but at least there's gonna be some information over there. And that's how it zooms in and out into the pause menu screen, and of course we can go into the options and change some stuff, go back to the game, and go back to playing the game. So a lot of interface changes, but I've also been tweaking all the AI a little bit more, changing triggers and events. Just a lot of changes that you don't really see as I'm playing now, but these guys are now more careful. The enemies are less aware of your presence unless they really see you and spot you. So there's been a lot of changes and improvements already, all trying to build that awesome game that this hopefully will be. So I'm gonna push this build to all the patrons so they can have a play around with it. And I think that's almost gonna be wrapping up my day. Maybe a few tweaks here and there. and then wrap up this video. And wrap up the video. I did. It's now Saturday. Everything is edited. Just watched it. Thanks for watching the video. I'm just gonna keep it short. Like, subscribe, comment below, all that stuff. And I will see you next week in probably a more normal video, because this was a lot of editing, a lot more work than my usual videos. So thanks for watching up to the end. See you next week. Bye.